Well, we have finally arrived at the moment that rebuilding teams have been waiting all year for. The 2022 NBA Draft is upon us. The draft represents a chance to set teams up for future success by finding young talent that they can hopefully develop into quality players. For the teams at the top of the draft, they're usually hoping to land someone that can become the next big star of their franchise, and especially if a team is rebuilding, the pressure to do that is even greater. Today, in anticipation of the main event, we will be putting out our final mock draft of the season, where I will run through every team picking in the lottery, predicting who I believe they will select based on a combination of the rumors and reports that have come out about which teams that are interested in who, along with who I believe would be a good fit for each team too. Before we start though, I want to thank today's sponsor of the video, Raid Shadow Legends. Raid Shadow Legends is a free-to-play game for both mobile and PC with incredible graphics and hundreds of champions to collect, which is one of my favorite aspects of the game. It just celebrated its 3-year anniversary, and on that note, 3 of the toughest bosses that I've experienced so far in the game are the Fire Knight, Ice Golem, and the Minotaur. Plus, there is a ton happening in Raid this month, including special events every single day, such as an entirely new event for the summer solstice called the Path of Light, with plenty to explore, along with some exciting new champions and skins set to drop there as well. On top of that, they are also currently running a special Deliana Chase event where all new and existing players can get the brand new legendary champion for free, simply by logging in 7 times between now and July 20th. Then use promo code MyDeliana to get 50 XP brews to max your legendary hero Deliana to level 50. There's never been a better time to get started, and if you use my link to sign up in the description below, new players get a free $30 value starter pack to kickstart your game, including a free champion and tons of valuable loot. So join me in the battle by clicking the link in the description to sign up today and take advantage of all of these incredible offers, and hopefully I'll see you out there. Starting things off with the first pick in the draft, the Orlando Magic select Jabari Smith from Auburn. The Magic do a pretty good job concealing their thoughts leading up to the draft, but from what I've seen, most front offices across the league are operating under the assumption that the Magic are selecting Smith here, and honestly, it makes a ton of sense. On top of the fact that he's probably the most well-balanced of the 3 top prospects on both ends of the floor, his shot-making ability is both highly efficient and impressive considering his ability to knock down difficult shots over tight contests. Defensively, he's also a versatile player who can guard multiple positions, and the Magic have been trying to build an identity on the defensive side of the floor that he'll fit right into. Next up, with the second pick, the Oklahoma City Thunder select Chet Holmgren from Gonzaga. I really like Holmgren's fit in Oklahoma City for a ton of reasons. For one, they are still maintaining a very long view regarding their development process, and while Holmgren has already shown he can impact the game as a rim protector and shooter of the ball, he is someone that needs to spend the next few years getting stronger. Additionally, he'll bring the ability to space the floor to help the Thunder's last place 3-point shooting, and overall, the kind of timeline that the Thunder are on match up nicely to the timeline that he'll be on. Up next, with the third pick, the Houston Rockets select Paolo Banchero from Duke. The Rockets haven't exactly been hiding the fact that they want Banchero this year after bringing him in for a workout and immediately trading away Christian Wood afterwards to clear up minutes and touches for him in the front court. The Rockets would more than likely have taken him if they had the first overall pick as well, so now they're just sitting here praying that he doesn't get taken first or second by the Magic or the Thunder. Banchero has the highest ceiling as a potential go-to scoring option because he has tremendous combination of strength, size, footwork, and skill off the dribble to finish inside and out. Next up, with the fourth pick, the Sacramento Kings select Keegan Murray from Iowa. Jaden Ivey is almost universally viewed as the 4th best prospect in the draft, but there are some reasons to believe that the Kings are looking elsewhere. For one, the Kings already have De'Aaron Fox, and their skill sets do somewhat clash as speedy ball handlers most effective with the ball in their hands attacking off the dribble. The Kings have worked Keegan Murray out, come away impressed, and even scheduled him to have dinner with team leaders like De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis, so the signs seem to be pointing towards the team going with Murray, who is ready to play a role on an NBA team immediately as an older prospect that brings well-rounded production on both ends of the floor. Next up, with the 5th pick in the draft, the Detroit Pistons select Jaden Ivey from Purdue. The Pistons were disappointed when they missed out on a top 4 pick at the lottery announcement, but if Ivey slips to them here, then they will be overjoyed at the opportunity to pair him with Cade Cunningham in their frontcourt. Ivey's blazing speed and ability to create through penetration off the dribble brings a nice contrasting element alongside Cunningham's measured approach to making plays, and the defensive potential there would also make the Pistons fans a very happy bunch. Up next, with the 6th pick in the draft, the Indiana Pacers select Bennedict Mathurin from Arizona. Mathurin is a player that has reportedly been killing it in private workouts with teams lately, and as a result of it, his name has been flying up draft boards. He was an All-American this year, he's an explosive athlete and naturally gifted scorer, and he had some of his best performances of the season in March Madness, when the lights were shining brightest. He's a tough competitor, and after the team just acquired Tyrese Halliburton to be their floor general of the future, Mathurin could slide in nicely alongside him as a scoring threat. Next up, with the 7th pick, the Portland Trail Blazers select Dyson Daniels from G League Ignite. Daniels is a prospect with a very high floor with the potential to blossom into so much more in the right situation. He's a playmaking guard that plays terrific defense, and in the G League this year, he showed off his ability to make so many winning plays regardless of whether or not they show up in the box score. At worst, he'll be a fantastic role player for years to come, and if his shot continues to develop the way that we hope it can, then he could be a two-way star. But in Portland, he'll be able to contribute good minutes immediately on a team hoping to bounce back and build around Damian Lillard. Next up, with the 8th pick in the draft, the New Orleans Pelicans select Shaedon Sharpe from Kentucky. Sharpe is the unknown of this year's draft class after reclassifying from next year's recruiting class to this year's class, and even though we never got to see him play a game for Kentucky, there is a reason why he was the #1 ranked recruit in his class at the time. From everything I've seen from Sharpe, he has everything you could possibly be looking for in a go-to scorer, and I truly believe he has the talent to be a star in this league, but obviously his lack of experience against quality competition will make some teams nervous. Of all of the top prospects, he is the most likely to slip, hence why he's coming in at pick number 8 here, but I firmly believe there's a chance he could end up being one of the best players from this draft. Up next, with the 9th pick in the draft, the San Antonio Spurs select Jalen Duren from Memphis. Duren has an NBA-ready body at the center position as a strong, mobile big man that runs the floor, protects the rim well as a shot blocker, and uses his explosive athleticism to finish strong around the basket. He's not the most skilled scorer and isn't necessarily a center that you'll be dumping down touches into the post, but he'll work perfectly in the pick-and-roll game, and his rebounding talent makes him someone the Spurs can bring in and develop. Next up, with the 10th pick in the draft, the Washington Wizards select Johnny Davis from Wisconsin. Davis began the college season on a blistering hot pace, scoring the ball, but a minor injury sidetracked that midway through the season, and when he tried to play through it, his production dipped a little bit. I'm not too concerned about that though, because we saw what he could do at full strength, and for lack of better words, Davis is a bucket. He projects to be a quality shot creator who can create his own offense and dominate in the mid-range, so even though the Wizards are another team possibly looking to trade their pick, Davis would be a good pickup if that doesn't happen. Next, with the 11th pick, the New York Knicks select Jeremy Sochan from Baylor. The Knicks have had a tendency to mess up their draft picks over the years, but Jeremy here is not only a safe choice, but also a choice giving them a player that can make an immediate impact with so much room to grow. Jeremy is good at all of the parts of the game that don't get glorified, such as being able to defend all over the floor on and off the ball, having fantastic court vision and passing ability from a forward, and being a competitor with terrific feel for the game. He's a smart player that just knows how to make good plays, and that can matter a lot more than physical attributes sometimes. Up next, with the 12th pick, the Oklahoma City Thunder select AJ Griffin from Duke. Here comes the Thunder with their second selection of the lottery, and if Griffin is still on the board, then he's another outstanding match for them and their timeline. Griffin is not only one of the youngest players in this year's draft, but he's also already one of the best shooters, having knocked down 45% of his threes last season. He has a 7-foot wingspan, his defensive potential showed glimpses, and there is enough promise with his ability to create at one of the most coveted positions in the NBA that despite his clearly raw skill set, he could develop into something special. Next up, with the 13th pick, the Charlotte Hornets select Mark Williams from Duke. The Hornets are in need of front court support, specifically at the center spot, and Mark Williams has the ability to both address those issues and help from day one. He showed off his skills as a rim runner and screen setter in March Madness for Duke, he finishes incredibly efficiently around the rim, he's a strong rebounder and good overall rim protector. And finally, the last pick of the lottery is made by the Cleveland Cavaliers, and with it they select Ochai Agbaji from Kansas. Agbaji is one of the best shooters in the class this year, and he projects at the very least as an impactful 3-and-D guy that can play a role on a winning team, as he just helped his Kansas team win the championship this year. The Cavaliers are starting to shift into contention status, so using this pick on an older prospect that can produce right away and play a solid role would help them out in a position of need. And finally, with that being said, that's all I have for you today. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below who you want to see your favorite team draft this year. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.